What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of the Rays video. So, another part of the Tales of the Rays tutorial series for you today. We are going to be going into Spirit Gear, so we're going to be talking about everything Spirit Gear related. So first things first, what is a Spirit Gear? And I'm going to be talking about this assuming you have a knowledge of what a Mirage Art is. If you don't, I guess I'll just quickly explain it. A Mirage Art is basically your ultimate in Tales of the Rays. It's going to be a gauge that you fill up, and then when it's filled up during a stage, you flick up on the Mirage Art, and it activates and does, your kind of ultimate attack. It's like a Mystic Art in the normal series. Now, what a Spirit Gear is a... How do I really explain this? Lore-wise, it's the character channeling the power of a spirit, which is obvious. It's called a Spirit Gear. And, they get a fancy new costume, all that kind of good stuff. And it's a Mirage Art that fills up over multiple missions. Like, if you fill up unlike a regular Mirage Art, which has to refill every single stage, a Spirit Gear, as long as you're doing, like, normal missions and not, like, the tower and stuff, you could just leave it full, and then whenever you want to use it, you can use it. You won't have to refill it every time you go through a stage. But the way you acquire this, there is a free-to-play way to acquire these. You don't have to summon for them, even though you can. There are people who want to have it maxed out immediately when they come out. But if you, like me, I really don't summon on Spirit Gear banners anymore. Unless the character is just like, I really feel like I need to have it. For the most part, you can just grind it up, even though it will take, months after the fact. Unless you just really go hard during their mission. But anyways, let's talk about Spirit Gear. So when you first get a Spirit Gear, or when you're farming them, I guess I should say, because if you just pull it, you should automatically have it unlocked in your character menu. But over here, where I just went, you'll obviously see the menus I clicked on. These are all the current characters who have a Spirit Gear in the game. There's quite a number of characters who do have Spirit Gears. Of course, whether it's the permanent ones or the ones that rotate, you might have to wait for a certain character you want to start farming theirs up. But this is kind of where you go. I should click on a character who I don't have maxed out so I can, I guess, kind of show it. So let's say you're just farming it up from an event. You're farming up the shards. What you want to do is you'll come over here. You'll click on this tab right here, and this is how you'll unlock it. You'll click on this second tab right here, and then you'll feed in the shards that you've acquired from the event, and it'll unlock the Spirit Gear at first. So, what do you get immediately from a Spirit Gear? Well, for stage 1, you get the weapon for the Spirit Gear. Each character gets their, kind of special, iconic weapon change. It's still their normal weapon, but like for Jude, for example, he has the power of Celsius, so his fists get the power of ice. On stage 2, you'll get the actual costume. So once you level it up to the second stage, you get the costume. On stage 3, you actually get the Mirage Art itself, so you can actually use it in battle. You can fill up the bar and everything. Stage 4, you will get a second attribute for each character. I don't actually remember what Jude's second attribute is, but every character gets a second attribute, so, some characters will have both, green and brown, or, whatever. And then stage 5, you get the special character cut-in, which is, when you use a Mirage Art or just, Mystic Arts in the normal series, it's the little 2D portrait that appears right when you activate it. So that's pretty much what each stage gives you, and then when you get to stage 5, you don't have to keep farming it anymore. Which I can actually show. We can actually go now to how you would level them up normally. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and show you where you go to farm them, in case you are relatively new. So, the easiest way to just look at all your Spirit Gears, click all. There are a number of Spirit Gear menus. So the first one is this one right here. This is how you enhance them. I'll obviously go over actually equipment enhancing in a different video, so if you don't know what that is, probably best to wait for that video and refer to that one. But yeah, so this is the enhancement tab. This one down here is the tab for actually leveling them up. As you can see, all the way up to this, to Flynn, I have all of the characters up to level 5, and I think I actually have a few at level 5. No, the rest down here are not filled out. So there's that, and then This one... Oh, this one actually just takes you straight to the menu where you can activate the ones you don't have. I didn't even know that. See, I'm learning something here too. So you don't even have to go to that menu I just showed you. You can just click on that one right there when you go to all. So that's pretty much how it goes with that. So how it works if you want to I don't think I can level anyone up. But as you can see here, right here it tells me for stage 5 for Flynn, I need 600 shards. And I have 469 for Flynn right now. So obviously I cannot do it yet, but in another 130 roughly, I will be able to get him to stage 5. Repeat as well needs quite a number. And then I'm just trying to see if there's anyone I can actually. The only other character I can think would be Julius. Let's take a look real quick. No, I still have quite a bit to get him to stage. So like Julius, for example, he's only stage 2. So I only have his weapon and his costume, like skin. I don't have the Mirage Artist. I think Julius is actually, yeah, he's the only character I don't actually have it for. So that's pretty much it for that, and I guess I can show how you actually change the character. I mean, changing character costumes is pretty self-explanatory. You know, it's over, well, I guess it's not if I'm making a tutorial series. So you go to your character, you go to the leftmost option, and then you can go ahead and see it right here. So I already have Ix's equipped. This is Ix's cut-in for his spirit gear. Then, of course, where's... Oh, I don't even have his spirit gear weapon equipped. Which one is it? It is... Yeah, it's this one. So that's his weapon. And then, of course, his costume is going to be the one we have equipped right now, which is this one. Like, see, this is his normal costume. His normal, like, Arc 3 and Beyond costume. And then this is his spirit gear costume. So that's how you go ahead and equip all that. And then after that, let's just go over and quickly talk about how you actually acquire this stuff. Now, unfortunately, I would have probably liked to wait until a Spirit Gear event was going on so I could show you, but a Spirit Gear event will normally be in the second tab whenever there's one going on, and that's how you can farm a new Spirit Gear. Based on Alphen having his Spirit Gear artwork in the year 5 anniversary image, I expect that he will probably be the next one to get a Spirit Gear. He'll be one of... They always release them in 3s, so he'll probably be one of the next ones to get one. But, yeah, it'll pretty much be here, and then there will be a shop where you can exchange for the shards and stuff like that. But beyond that, this is where you want to go, this bottom tab right here. This, until they change it, they've stated they are going to update how Spirit Gears work at some point, but it seems like it's still a work in progress. But I will quickly go over what these are. So this first, the bottom one right here is the weekly rotation one. You can see it's going to rotate again on the 29th, and it pretty much just rotates some of the newer Spirit Gear events. And then this top one right here are Spirit Gears that have been added to the permanent pool. Each one of these you can do 3 times a day. That's why it has a 3 counter in the little red box. So you choose whichever. So it's a little different for the weekly and the normal ones. For the weekly ones, you have to choose one of the 3 characters in the current rotation. So you've got Rid, Ludger, and Julius. So you can choose. You could do each one once per day. Or you could just choose one character like I'm kind of doing with Julius and do it 3 times a day. The benefit that the weekly ones have is that it has double rates. So you'll get double the amount of shards you normally would on one of these. So normally on these ones, on the weekly ones, I get anywhere from like 3 shards to 20 shards. Because sometimes you'll get really lucky, you'll get like between 15 to 20 shards. But for the most part, you're walking away with 3 shards per run. That's like the average. And then with this one, you can do it 3 times a day, but you're not choosing a specific character. You're doing all 3 characters of a certain batch. So since I've cleared all the way up to basically where Repeat and Flynn are, this is the one that I'm always doing. I'm just going to do each stage 1 time just to kind of show it off. But yeah, normal drop rates for this. So at bare minimum, you're walking away with 1 shard per character per run. But sometimes you can get lucky and get more, but that's why they're in the permanent pool, because it's something you're doing 3 times a day, you know, every day, as long as you're kind of keeping up with it. So let me just show this off real quick. And then we'll go ahead and show off the other one, how that one works. So you get it. This is why it's going to be harder for people who didn't really start in the beginning, because you'll have to kind of work with what you have. So if you don't have, if there's like a Spirit Gear batch where you don't have anything for 2 of the 3 characters, you're going to have to rely on the 1 character to kind of get it done. So that's why it's kind of good to at least try and keep up with every event as it comes out, because you never know what characters are going to be part of a batch. So you can see right here, we got 1 for Yuri, we got 3 for Repeat, so Repeat got the good batch, and then we got 2 for Flynn. Unfortunately, and this is why I'm trying to balance who I work on now, like I'm trying to keep each batch of 3 like around the same level, is because while I can use these for Repeat and Flynn, the shards I can no longer use for Yuri, and you can't exchange them for anything either, so I'm basically getting shards for Yuri for no reason. So yeah, so you pretty much, you do that 3 times a day, and then now we'll go ahead and hop over to the weekly one. Once it decides to load for us. Okay. So now we'll hop over to the weekly one. Oh, and I guess I should mention what the actual requirements for these stages are. This right here. All you really have to worry about is don't let anyone die. Complete it with it. So I think the first one is do without doing and continue. I think the last one is don't let anyone die. And the second one is use a mirror jar. So the mirror jar one can be kind of tedious depending on if you have the character Spirit Gear filled up or not. Especially for, like, the weekly ones that, you know, they change every week. So, like, for example, for Julius, I don't have his Spirit Gear unlocked to where I can use the Mirror Art. So I literally, in this stage, have to fully fill up my Mirage Gauge to get that requirement done. It's not the end of the world if you can't, because you only get, like, 1 shard. But these enemies die so fast. Like, see, those 2 died immediately. Alright, well, we got lucky with that one, but some of my characters just hit super hard that it's just very hard to kind of get that done. And that's pretty much it for that one. How many we're going to get? Alright, we got 4 for that one, so we got some on the lower side. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for Spirit Gears. Oh, I guess final thing I should talk about is where do you equip Spirit Gears? I feel like once people have seen my equipment video, it should be pretty self-explanatory where Spirit Gears go. But just for the sake of the video, we'll head back to the character tab just to show you where it goes. Now, obviously not every character has a Spirit Gear, as I went ahead and showed. So characters with Spirit Gears will have an extra tab for a Mirror Art. A normal character will only have 3 Mirror Art tabs. I'll go into more detail on Mirror Arts in general in a different video, but you have your normal Mirror Art, the one that's like your main one. You've got your sub one, and then you've got your auto one. So I guess we'll just use Ix as an example. So let's go ahead and, so this tab over here is how you open your equipment menu. So you can see here, this first tab right here is his Spirit Gear, and then of course everything else that I stated before. So that's pretty much it for Spirit Gears, and I guess I'll show what a character looks like that doesn't have one. Magilu. Let's go to Magilu's page. I guess I could have gone to Astus, but I didn't want to use a collab character to explain the stuff. So you can see here, Magilu doesn't have a Spirit Gear yet, so she just has the 3 Mirror Art tabs. So that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think down below. Look forward to the next one, and I will see you all next time.